right, hello everyone. This is MJ Martinez, and this is the Customer Experience Connection podcast. Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm outdoors. I had to come inspect my grandfather's property and his backyard, which looks a mess, but I figured this is the perfect place to do what I wanted to do. I want to talk about leakage, one of the dirtiest words in insurance. Leakage. Leakage is money that, there's going to be overhead costs, there's going to be sunk costs, there's going to be costs of doing business. But leakage is an expense that us as adjusters can control. Every single day, in every single claim, we can control the leakage. And I want to help you understand leakage so that I can better explain loss ratio on my next podcast back inside, because it's super hot out here. So I'm here, grandfather's backyard. As you can see, he had humble beginnings, so did I. But as you can see right there, this, I'm going to tell you, is our insurance company's capital. These are all the premiums. This is the communal good that we're trying to do, right? This funnel right here is where the policies, new policies, current policies, any policies that we can keep, like customer loyalty, like I discussed before, not losing any customers, like I discussed before. But this funnel is the funnel that takes in all new policies. Now, all the policies go into this, bag, I guess, in this case, bag of communal good for us to be good stewards of and to pay what we owe on every claim, right? So, for example, and this is really extreme. I found this in my grandfather's backyard. I don't know what he's crazy, I guess. He's dead now, but I'm sure there's some secrets behind this. Anyways, as you can see, it's already leaking because there's always going to be some variance of leakage. Of course, we can't be 100% all the time, but that's our goal, right? But that leakage right there, that's from somebody giving an extra day of rental, an adjuster giving an extra day of rental when it's not on the policy and not what we owe. There's a difference between customer experience, customer service, and people pleasing. Sometimes you have to factually tell them what their policy provides, right? And sometimes there's kickback or pushback. We have to learn to have those honest conversations with the customer to make sure that we're telling them exactly what their policy provides and what they paid for and why. You don't have to say it in a mean way. You can just be the professional that you are and discuss why we weren't able to pay that extra day of rental, or why we weren't able to pay that extra day of towing and storage, and that they're responsible for it. So leakage comes in many forms. It can come in extra day of rental. So for visual effects, we'll talk about this. An adjuster extends an extra day of rental. All right, the big leak. So now that insured talked to one of our other members and said, oh, well, they extended my rental. It's really easy. So once you start that trend, you do it for one person, you're going to have to do it for another, right? And that's all of the policies. That's the money that we're supposed to be good stewards of, right? Let's say you didn't call your insured back when you were supposed to, and their vehicle's in storage. You know how expensive storage bills are. That's going to be a big one. And I'll push it right there. That's storage. Let's see. What's another form of leakage that y'all can think of? Extra rental, extra storage. Biggest thing is coverage. If we don't do a great coverage investigation and we end up paying, that is considered leakage as well. Let's see. That's coverage one is a big one. So as you can see, a company can be ruined by leakage. If there's a slow economy and people aren't buying our policies, or maybe there's some uh, economic hard times where people, you know, with a budget, have to cut insurance. Sometimes insurance is the first thing that's cut when the economic times are bad. So if we're not putting anything in here, we're not refilling this for our customers and being good stewards of their money. But if we are refilling it, all we're doing is filling it, staying afloat, but then we're leaking exponentially because of things that we can do on the front end as adjusters. So have those conversations, have those professional conversations, explain their policy, educate the customer, prevent leakage in anything that you do. Leakage could be a towing and storage bill. Leakage could be a coverage issue that we may have, messed up, but we learned from, right? And we covered the loss, and all of a sudden we're leaking all this money. Catastrophes are a big deal. Sometimes storage facilities will charge a lot of money. And so our goal is to move that vehicle and send that storage mitigation letter as soon as possible. So I hope this helps as an example of what leakage is, because there are a lot of things that can be considered leakage. Think about it when you're at your desk, when you're adjusting claims. How am I contributing to this leakage, and how can I positively impact my company and be a good steward of my insured's money? So think about some examples, put some at the bottom, on the comments, so we can all kind of have an idea of the examples of leakage. And during our loss ratio explanation, or possibly webinar, I'm still thinking about it, I will talk about specific examples about leakage, but I wanted to give you a visual aid. And as you can see, this company is now dissolved because we had zero oversight and zero control of our leakage. Thank you all. Have a good day.